Howdy everyone, this is D-Bang, your host for the Outlaw Joseph Scotts. This is episode 17. Yes, we are up to 17 in this episode called The Last Stand. In fact, we are playing the mission, The Last Stand. Joseph has gotten himself caught in the mines. Enemies are surrounding him, coming in from all sides, and he needs to fight them off. We will see how that goes. This ended up being a very long episode, so it will be broken into two parts just to make it a little easier to edit, upload, and for you guys to view it. So I'm going to try to keep this intro pretty short. I'm going to have a little top-down view so you guys can see, because it is a fixed map, so you guys can see the layout, and then I will get right into the mission itself and the game playing. So please enjoy. Okay, everyone, here we are. This is the mission number 3 in City of the Ancients Advanced. This is the Last Stand. As you can see, there is a set map for this, which I've laid out, and so that's kind of what you're seeing right here. It's pretty large, kind of spreads out there, takes out a good portion of my table here. In this mission, it says, trapped in the mines, enemy pour in from all sides. You have but one choice, fight. Fight for your lives. There is no escape, only victory or death. Things have never looked quite this grim before, but there's no time to think about that now. Here they come. Okay, so it has a fixed layout, as you can see. And where you see the gates kind of at the far edges, is going to be a little, I know it's a little difficult to see, are basically, I'm using them kind of like what I did previously in a previous episode. Those are kind of, they're not actually gates, but they are entryways. Those are where the monsters are going to be coming in. This is actually kind of no exploration. Waves of enemies are just going to spawn in and start attacking. So we'll have to see how well Joseph does by himself in this case. Could be dangerous. So what you'll see also on here, there are the heroes are given 3 lantern tokens, which I'll show you here. So we got some of these spare lantern tokens that came with the game. You get 3 of those. So the normal old lantern card isn't really used. You'll still be rolling for it, but as far as lighting up areas, you actually have 3 lanterns and the 3 lantern tokens. So basically each lantern token lights up its tile and each adjacent tile. And then the posse gets to decide where they want to put those 3 lantern tokens on this map for if they want to move around or split up, etc., etc. So that's the way it's going to be lit. All right, and then the heroes start anywhere they want on the board, and we're going to start with our maximum grit. So what I was thinking was I'm actually going to start Joseph down here in this lower right corner. I'll be able to see, you can kind of see right there. You can kind of see, that entryway. He can see down that corridor. He can see down that corridor. He can kind of see what's coming. And you can see I have a lantern in that room, lantern in the far room, up top there, and a lantern right over there in that rail room. I don't plan on moving too much. So one of the things to note is that each of the entry points, each of the 4 entry points, will get a die roll each turn to see if they spawn at the end of each turn, to see if they spawn more monsters. and it's a 1 or a 2. However, if a hero is in the space, oh, you know what? I should change that. I should spawn, because, continue here, if the hero's in the same space as the entry point, the same map tile, I mean, it's only a 1 that it spawns, not a 1 or 2. Since this one over here is actually, there's actually a map tile over there, I actually think I might want to rearrange this. I think Joseph wants to hang out over here. Simply because that way, so he's on this map tile to lower its chance of spawning, and then he's got good lines of sight for enemies coming in either direction. The other option would be potentially to maybe go away up top into that one. I don't think it makes a huge difference as far as, you know, Joseph's placement. It's a little more, you know, with one player, one hero, you know, it's going to be, you know, my options are limited. With more than one hero, is where you start getting more options of, you know, do the heroes want to split up? Do they want to stay together? What do they want to do? Because obviously if you split up into 2 rooms, you know, for example, you could cover 2 entrances potentially, but they are pretty far apart. So that is the way, or do you all just cluster, you know, in this middle room right in here, and just kind of let everything try to flow in, and they'll jam pack themselves there. It's a tough choice. Now, so I'll continue on here with the setup. So obviously Joseph starts with his max grit, so he's going to start with a grit of 3 grit. And then after the heroes are placed, you roll a d6. For each of the 4 entry points on a 1, 2, or 3, we're going to get a low threat card. So it's a low threat card regardless of number of heroes, up to 4, I believe. I believe if it's yeah, it's if there's 5 or 6 heroes, you're going to draw medium threats instead of low threats. For 1 or 2 heroes, at the start of the game, so at the start of the game, we're going to roll to see if there are any starting enemies. Instead of a 1, 2, or 3 having enemies there, it's only a 1 or a 2 for having 1 or 2 heroes. So we'll just see that. And I'll roll for that in a moment. So the goal is obviously to survive, and we need to defeat a number of enemies to survive. And then what's going to happen is, basically, heroes cannot flee. Growing Dread are immediately revealed. Alright, the depth track. So the depth track is going to work a little differently. It's kind of interesting. So there's no exploration. So it's going to track how much of the enemy assault has been defeated. So for every 3 enemies that the heroes kill, you're going to move the posse marker down 1 on the track. Alright? And then what's going to happen is, if he kills a large enemy, you're going to move the posse marker 2 steps. Then when you make a hold back the darkness roll, if your roll is equal to or greater than the number that the posse marker is at, so you can't, obviously it starts at basically 16, so won't on 15, won't on 14, won't on 13. At 12, you have a chance, if you roll double 6s on your darkness roll, that stops more enemies from spawning. That's basically the start of the end of the game, where you have to clean up everything that all of the enemies that remain, and so on. You know, so kill more, it will drop farther, and that will increase the chances. Obviously, the hold back the darkness roll rolling over the posse marker, but of course,
that also drops the level that's needed for Hold Back the Darkness rolls, because you're still making Hold Back the Darkness rolls. So, and that's essentially it. The other special rule is desperation. So if a hero, any hero that doesn't have any enemies on his map tile, may give up their attack, so you can still move, but your other action is you can scavenge a tile, you can ready a once per fight item. So if you have an item that's once per fight, you can recover a grit, or you can catch your breath, i.e. healing a D3 wounds or sanity. So probably won't be much of that for Joseph, but we will see. We will see how that goes for Joseph. And see if he gets any respite to be able to do any catching his breath or recovering grits, but that's probably unlikely. And so yeah, that's about it. The reward is pretty nice. Each hero gets to draw 5 loot cards. So in that sense, you're gonna shuffle the 12 loot cards up, draw 5 for a hero. They'll record what they get, then shuffle the 12 again, draw 5 for the next hero. So 5 full loot cards. That's instead of loot cards for enemies that are killed. And as well, if you're not KO'd, you get a D6 times 25 experience points. If you fail, you have to roll in the Injury Madness table. And if the darkness escapes, you still have to roll in the Injury Madness table, even if you're not KO'd. All right, so this could be interesting. Could be interesting. We will see how this works. So let me. I know here's the. We're gonna like having the overhead view to some extent. I only have one camera though, so I won't be able to show this overhead view as far as spawning new monsters and whatnot. But I don't think I want to leave it this high and zoomed out for gameplay. So let me change the camera position and we can get started with the game. All right, so we're here. We're zoomed in a little bit more. So we're going to start with spawning some additional monsters here, or see if there are any. Again, if we're using 1 or 2 heroes at the start of the game, we're only going to draw a starting threat card on a roll of 1 for each monster instead. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Over here, does not. That's a good thing it's a 1 or 2. All right, we'll do the upper left corner up there. That's a 2, so that's still nothing. The upper right corner, but in the big room, that's a 6, so that's nothing. And the lower right corner down here, it's a 6, so that is nothing. Okay, so no enemies to start here, so that's going to be kind of good, kind of bad for Joseph. It means he's actually going to have to wait a few turns in order to get some critters to spawn in order to kill them. So, and that's going to be more Hold Back the Darkness rolls and nasty things like that. Okay, so we will start with the first turn, Holding Back the Darkness. A 4. I need to zoom in a little bit better. 4 fails, so we will move the darkness track by 1. Joseph is not going to move. If there were some enemies coming through one of the portals, he might try to move closer to them to kill them a little faster. But since there are none, he is not going to. So he's not going to move. No reason to roll for movement since he's at maximum grit. Doesn't need to. I guess he could scavenge. By the way, scavenging is unlimited. You can scavenge any number of times. I guess he could attempt to scavenge while he's waiting. Doesn't need to ready any items, doesn't need to recover grit or catch his breath. So he will go ahead and attempt to scavenge. And wow, he gets 3 scavenge cards. Apparently this room was chock full of stuff. So the first card he gets is a small find for $50. His second one is nothing to find. And his third one is something shiny. That was handy. Alright, so I need to roll a d6. He gets a 2. A 2 is a Darkstone. Well, hey, that's actually not bad. I don't mind getting a Darkstone because, you know, that's another set of bullets and one closer to getting his grip for his second pistol. All right. So now it is the end of the turn. And we will roll for the entry points. Remember, it's a 1 or 2 for each entry point, a 1 on the one down here that Joseph is on the adjacent map pile to. So we'll start with the one that Joseph's on. It does spawn enemies. Okay, so when it spawns an enemy, we're going to place an enemy's approaching token, which is basically, they just said, place a token that has the Shadows of Brimstone logo on it. So we can see that enemies are coming, but we don't know what they are. All right, so let's roll for the next one. We're going to do it in the same order. So the top left, a 5 are none. Top right, a 6, there's none. And over here to the right, a 2. So there are enemies coming in over there as well. And what it says is, there's already an enemy's approaching marker at that entry point. Instead, remove the marker, draw a low threat card. And then those enemies that will move, enemies with a 0 movement do not participate in this fight, which means essentially that corpse piles won't be placed. That's kind of a good thing. So it is hold back the darkness. It would help if I got them in the. A 5 will fail again. Oh, sorry about that. And that will give us a darkness card. Chill the Grave, undead are +1 initiative and +1 combat. Joseph, I think Joseph will move on his turn. And he is actually going to back up to here. So he's still on this tile, but he's a little bit farther away. We'll get to see what might come through. All right, and then it is the end of the turn. All right, so the tile that Joseph is on does not get any new ones. Upper left does not get any. Upper right does not. And the ones to the right, the 6 does not. Okay. If you didn't know, so it will be faster when there's more players. There won't be this kind of stagnant because, first of all, you're going to start with some enemies on the board because you got basically a 50% chance at each of the spawn points to have some enemies spawn. You'll be doing some things early on. I was lucky enough with only 1 hero not to roll any 1s, and so there are no enemies there. It is now hold back the darkness again. So basically, I have to wait until some of these enemies get pushed. So 6, 7, 8 is enough to hold back the darkness. Joseph is not going to move. You know, I don't think he wants to scavenge again. He did get very lucky that 3 cards and none of them were bad. So I think I don't want to use up that luck. So let's just roll for each location to see if each entry point, see if they spawn. So the one that Joseph's on does not. The one upper left, it does. Okay. The one in the upper right does not. And the one in the lower right It does. Okay. So enemies will be coming from that direction instead. So we will draw a low threat card. And we get, oh no, Paradise of Tentacles. I do not like tentacles. Okay, three tentacles. They get placed just off the board. They're gonna move onto the board. And the tentacles will have 2 elite abilities, which are a 5 and a 3. The 3 is writhing, so they are 2 more defense. There are 4 defense, and 5 they are lashing strike with +1 combat. Ouch. They are initiative 2, so I guess Joseph is going to kind of go that way. Try to kill them as they come in. So it is the start of the turn. Hold back the darkness. A 7 is good enough. Joseph then gets to move, and of course now he rolls really low, so we'll go 1, 2. He will start moving that way. Now the tentacles get to go, and they have a movement of 6, so they will come in over here. We'll zoom out just a smidge. Okay, and they will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can cut the corner there. And then it is the end of the turn, so we need to roll for spawning. So the tile that Joseph's on gets a 5, so that does not spawn. We're going to kind of meet in the middle here, I think. Okay, upper left does not. Upper right does get 1. Okay, so he's got a token waiting for it up here. All right, and the lower right, where the tentacles just came from, does not get 1. All right, that was the end of the turn. So holding back the darkness. 6 will not hold back the darkness. And then it's Joseph's turn. All right, well, let me move this box here. Let me see how far Joseph can move. That will make a difference. 5. Okay. Well, they will move 6, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if Joseph moves 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He will be just out of range, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 7 for him to shoot. So he can't get there. So what I think he will do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He just needs to make sure that he's within 5 of here in order to be able to shoot them next turn, even if he rolls a 1. So he basically needs to move at least 1, and if he remains on this tile, it reduces down the spawn chance for these guys coming in behind him. So I think that's probably good, because they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just far enough for Joseph to shoot them. And then of course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they'll be able to surround him. But what can you do? What can you do? All right, so that as far as Joseph's going to go on his turn. That was initiative 4. So initiative 2, the tentacles get to go. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and then he kind of shuffles in behind. Okay. End of the turn, so we need to roll if there's any spawns. So this one down here by Joseph, should say. Put it up here. Will that work? Not quite. That's a 4 anyway. Might be better down. Yeah, for right now anyway. So the upper left does not. The upper right does. So we need to draw a low threat for them, and that is a Peril Dice of Hungry Dead. So 3 Hungry Dead are up in that corner. And let's see if where the tentacles came from, it does spawn, so they get a token. And then I need a peril dice worth of Hungry Dead. Sorry, 3 Hungry Dead. Remove this token. And let's see what the elite abilities for the Hungry Dead are. A 4 and a 2. A 2 is +2 combat, and a 4 is +1 defense. Lots of extra combat and extra defense. As well, we also have the Chill the Grave, which gives them +1 initiative and +1 combat. So they are now 3 combat and 2 initiative. So they're going to go at the same time as the tentacles. Obviously, they're really far away. You know, they're way up there. So they will not be getting to Joseph anytime real soon with their 2 movements. So, but that was the end of the turn. So Joseph gets to hold back the darkness. A 7 is good enough. And then Joseph gets to go. He's got 2 tentacles within range 5 of his pistols. Alright, so he's got 7 dice, hitting on 4s. Okay, it's not too bad. I do have to keep in mind 6s. Alright, he does have grit. And actually, because you can recover grit, if I kill these guys quickly, then I'll be able to spend a turn or 2 maybe to recover a few grit back. So I will actually spend 1 grit here to re-roll these 4 dice, especially since Joseph can re-roll re-rolls when he's shooting. So he's going to re-roll all 4 of these dice. Perfect! Look at that! So impressive shooting. Okay, well he has 3 6s, which gives him 3 more dice. Didn't even need to re-roll his re-rolls. So he has 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 hits. Now, the tentacles are 4 health and a 4 defense, which means I need 8 to kill. Which we can't get, he can't get, obviously the most he can get is a 7, d6 +1, because he's got his Darkstone bullets. So, let's say 2 dice for damage against each one, or to start, we'll roll 2 at a time anyway. And actually, I can only hit 2 of these guys. So why don't I simply split it up. We'll go 5 and 6. So we'll start with 5 dice. And so I need a 4 or better to do damage. This way, if he rolls really horribly, like, oh, potentially that. So a 4, so basically a -3 on each die. So that's a 1 and a 3, so that's a 4. So that's enough to kill him. Don't have a suspender grit, so that'll kill 1. And then roll the other 6, and that is enough to kill the other. Fortunately, he wasn't in range. I guess I should have moved up and had all of them in range, but I did not even really think about it. So, oh, oops, you know, that's about all I can do. So that was Joseph's turn. That was his attack, so enemies get to go. So we might as well go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let that tentacle attack Joseph. So he is +1 combat, so he's 4 dice, hitting on 4s. Move that over there. 1 hit. But that does ignore his defense, and it does 3 damage, so that's 3 wounds. He does have his armor, so 3 dice. Doesn't save. So 3 wounds on Joseph from that tentacle. And then let me move the Hungry Dead. They're 2 spaces. Alright, and then It is the end of the turn, so I need to roll to see if anything spawns. So on the tile that Joseph's on, does not. The upper left, it does. So the next thread is 6 void spiders, which will go up there. The upper right does not, and the lower right does not. Remember, it's 1 or 2. A 1 on the space that he's on. So let me grab the void spiders. Okay, so now we need to see what elite abilities the spiders have, which is a 6 and a 2. 2 is Void Venom. Any hero that takes 1 or more wounds is -1 to hit for the next activation. And a 6, their hits are now +2 damage. Ouch. Okay. So the spiders get to move first at initiative 6. So let me move the spiders here. Come up. They're coming off that corner up there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They just kind of pile up back here. I don't think that is that space any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Would that be any faster? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's not really any faster, so we'll just leave them like that. Spiders coming from there. Undead. Way up there. Very slow. Token on that side. Token there. And Joseph with a tentacle. So that was initiative 6. Oh, I skipped ahead. Should have been holding back the darkness. First, a 5 will not hold back the darkness, so that gives another darkness card, which will be Tentacles from the Void. Ambush attack by a peril die worth of tentacles. So let's see how many tentacles attack him. 4, so he gets 4 more tentacles. And unfortunately, that means they go at initiative 4, so they will actually go before him. Curses. This could be really bad. Could be really bad. Alright, so anyway, I already moved the spiders. So now I guess I will roll for the tentacles. I'm going to roll them separately because I do have the amulet, which I may need to use. So I'll do a red and a blue. They are normally 3 dice, but they are now 4 dice each, hitting on 4s. So here's 2 spiders, or tentacles, hitting on 4s. Okay, so 1 hit me 3 times, and 1 hit me once. Okay. And there are 5 total. So another 4 dice and another 4 dice. Oops. Okay, 1 hit me once. Another 1 hit me 3 times. All right, and then 1 more. Keep these red dice, so the white dice are not doing well. Ha! And he hits me 4 times. Okay. Alright, so defense. I'll roll my defense against this guy. So I block 1. So he hits me that. Against this guy, I don't block any. 3 hits. Don't block. Don't block. Block 2. So, they are tentacles, are 3 damage each. Alright, so this is 6. 6 damage from this first tentacle. I block 1. Okay, so that is 5 wounds. Do I use a grit to reroll those ones, or do I take it? The other ones, 3, 6, 9 dice coming next, because I didn't block 3. Oh, you know, and I could use a grit to reroll those 3 dice as well. So I guess I should have done that. I should have decided that before I was doing, before I started rolling armor saves. So I won't back that out. I'll go with that. We'll see. So we'll see what we can do. So do I reroll those 5, or do I save it for the 9? I do have 2 grit, and I can block 1. So I think I'm going to use a grit to reroll these 5. Perfect. Look at that. So 1 wound. Okay. Well, let's save this. So this is 3 for this 1 hit. I block 1. So 1 wound, 2 wounds, 3 dice for this one, 1 hit. I block 2 with the armor, and that's a 1 hit. How to say here. All right, so 2 hits. I got one that's 2 hits, that's 6 dice. Armor blocks 3, nice. All right, that's 3 wounds. Okay, and now I have the big 3 hits. So that's 9 dice. So 3, 6, 9. See how my armor does. Armor blocks 2. Which will be 7 wounds. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 wounds. You know what? The spiders are going to be moving pretty quickly. Although it's unlikely I can kill these tentacles, but I can reduce them down. So you know what? I will use my grit to reroll these. Oops. Ugh, and I only blocked 1. So I do have revives. I do have 2 revives. So I'm going to take it. I'm not going to use the amulet, despite all that. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wounds. And 3 is 16. So I have 6 to, I now have 6 to, excuse me, it's now up to 16 wounds. 16 of 19. So that is not good. That is not good for Joseph. But he does have 2 bandages, and he does have a revive, or 2 revives. So Joseph's turn, and he will move. Okay, well he's got some decent moves, unfortunately. I don't know if I want to 1. I'm actually going to try to move away. They have an escape of 4+. That fails. That succeeds. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to try to get farther away from the spiders. So I'm actually going to move over here. I just want to keep within 5. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. And that way the spiders will be a little bit farther away from me for when and I'll get double shots at them, in fact. So speaking of shooting, 7 dice for Joseph, hitting on 4s. And that is not the kind of roll that I need against these tentacles. And I have no grit to reroll those. So I do have 3 rerolls from my skill and the bandolier. Well, that helps. Okay, that helps. Alright, so 3 6s give me 3 more dice. 1, 2, 3, so 6, 7, 8. Alright, and then let's see. I'm going to try to hit the close one first. 4 or more to do wounds. A 5 will do 2 wounds. That's half. Okay, I will shoot that one again. Does nothing. 3 does nothing. 3 does nothing. Come on. 3 does nothing. 3 does nothing, and I'm, well, so. Alright, well that will kill it, and let him heal for 1 wound, because of his belt buckle. Leaves him with 1 left, to try to put some wounds, and does do 1 wound, on that next closer guy. Because at least he does get to shoot again next turn. Before they get to go, unless I get it to ambush by more tentacles next turn. And, you know, I don't know that it's worth, he's close enough to needing to revive. I think he won't use advantages yet. Alright, so now let me move the Hungry Dead. Alright, and that is the end of the turn. So now we roll for spawning. So down in the lower left corner where Joseph was, it's now 1 or 2 because he's no longer on that tile, but it's a 6. Does not. In the upper left, does not. In the upper right, does not. And in the lower right, where Joseph's going, does not. Okay, so he is lucky. And we do need to keep in mind that Joseph killed 3, so that moves him down. He has killed 3 tentacles, so that moves him down by 1. So that's time to hold back the darkness. A 5 will fail. So it's now initiative 6 and the spiders move. And the spiders get to move. Well, why did I think spiders only move 6? Let me take that back. Probably because they're initiative. They actually move 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to read move there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so they're going to pile up here. That's where their first movement was. So now their second movement of 8. We'll go make sure that's all in camera. It should be pretty well. I'll tilt this down a little bit more. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, they are getting pretty close there. All right, so it is now Joseph's turn, as beat up as he is. So he rolls for his movement, does not get a grit. Don't really want to back up. I guess actually I probably should have killed the back guy so I could back up 1 space, but I did not. So he will just take his shots, his 7 shots, into the tentacles. Hopefully he can hit more, kill a few more. That's definitely a hit more. Or so far, he gets his 3 rerolls. Slightly better. Alright, so that's going to be 2 more dice for the 2 6s. So that's still 7 hits. Alright, so 1 on the wounded one. Does nothing. Oops, get it in the shirt. 1 will do nothing. I need to roll better. 2 will do nothing. There we go. That will do 3, which is enough to kill him. 1 more dead. 4. 3 left. So I'll roll. I guess I can roll 2 dice, because obviously I need at least 2 dice to kill somebody, to kill one. That does 1 wound. And then I have 1 more die, which does 1 more wound. Puts him in half. Oh, that does heal him for 1. Anyway. And then it is the tentacles' turns. So they will move their 6. Stupid tentacles, I tell you. They are the bane of my existence. Alright. Joseph gets attacked by 3 tentacles. Tentacles are 4 dice in combat, hitting on 4s. So here are 2 of them. Alright, so that one hit twice. This one hit 3 times. And then that one hit twice, okay? So let us see here. I don't have any rerolls for saves. So let's go, we go directly to armor, and they do 3 dice each. So 6 dice, 6 armor saves. Saves 3 of them against him. That's not bad. That's 6 dice. Again, saves 3. Rolling well for armor saves. Alright, 3, 6, 9, that's 9 dice. Saves 1. The problem being oh yeah, that moved out, so it was only 1. So 3, 6, 7, 8. So what I need to do, because 6, unfortunately, he's at 14. 6 is still enough to knock him out, which would mean he uses a revive and then takes the rest on that. So I do have to use the amulet to take, it doesn't really matter, I'll block the big one here that did 8 wounds, but it doesn't really matter. And then this one does 3, which puts me at 17. This one does 3, which puts me at 20, which knocks me out, uses a revive, and brings me back to 1 grit. Alright, now let me move the Hungry Dead. Okay. It is the end of the turn, so now we roll to see spawns. So we'll start down here in the lower left. Does not. Upper left. Does not. Upper right. Oops. In the box. Does not. And lower right. It does not. Alright. So initiative. Or sorry, not initiative. Holding back the darkness. 7 is good enough. Yeah, and I've only killed 4 things total so far, so we're still on 7+. We're still only on 15. So now it's initiative 6, so the spiders get to move. They get to move 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there. And there. Okay, so 2 spiders get to attack. They have venom, and they're +2 damage. So 4 dice, being on 4s. So 2 hits. And so 2 saves. So I failed both. I will use, oh actually I should have rolled them because they had the void venom, so I needed to separate them out because I actually rolled 3 white dice and a red. But that's fine. Those were both misses, right? So we'll say there's 2 separate spiders and 2 hits. Do I grit that? Because each one then will, if I don't block it, if I take any damage from them, and they're each one's doing 4. Yes, so I guess I will grit. I will grit both of these. I block 1 of them. Good. Alright, so it's only from 1 spider. And that's 4 wounds that I have to use my armor against, and that's 2. So I take 2 wounds, but unfortunately I am also -1 to hit. So I hit on 5s now this round, which is unfortunate. But it is Joseph's turn. So rolling for movement. Double 5s. I really need to take that skill that gives him a bonus if he rolls doubles for movement. Okay. He can't go anywhere. Does not get a grit. Wonder if I should use his eye patch though to give him his max grit. Maybe I need to save that for defense next round. Yeah, he's got some rerolls. So he's just gonna shoot. Rolling to hit. Well, he didn't get any 4s. That's a good thing. All right. And he gets his 3 rerolls. And he did get a 4. So that is simply 4 hits. Well, I think I need to get rid of the tentacles. The spiders are kind of blocked. They're kind of blocked right there. So if I can get rid of, if I kill spiders, more spiders are just going to fill in. If I can kill a tentacle or 2, I'll have fewer attacks back at me. So we'll start with the wounded tentacle. A 5 does 2 wounds, which is enough to kill him. Excellent, which will heal 1 of his wounds. And then he's got 3 hits left. So, you know what, I'm gonna just put, it won't really matter. I'll just roll, well, I'll roll 1 at a time. Because you never know. 1 wound to a tentacle. 3 wounds to a tentacle, is that right? Yeah, 6 plus 1 is 7, minus 4 is 3. So that actually kills that tentacle, which heals his other wound. Okay, and that does mean there was 6 killed, which will move the posse marker 1 farther on the track to 14. And then he's got 1 hit left, which, you know, he'll still put on a tentacle. For 3, doesn't do anything. Okay, tentacles. Tentacles get to go. All right, so there's 1 tentacle rolling 4 dice, hitting on 4s. 3 hits, 1 of which ignores armor. Or ignores defense, I mean. All right, defense roll, saves none. They do 3 damage each. I'm going to use his eye patch to bring him back up to 3 grit. I'm going to use a grit to reroll 2 defense. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Apparently I ran out of space on the camera. Didn't realize it, so the last minute or 2 got missed. Basically, what happened was Joseph got hit by the tentacle 3 times. Didn't make any, and a 1 was couldn't use defense. Had 2 hits that he could try to use defense against, missed both of them. I used the patch to get maximum grit, then I used a grit to re-roll those 2, both of which still failed. So that was 9 damage that Joseph had to make armor saves on, and unfortunately he missed it. I can't believe. Beautiful roll. Actually, I rolled 8 5s and 6s. He only failed 1 armor save, and I'm sorry I didn't catch that on camera. But you know, cross my heart, pinky swear, that is what happened. So he only took 1 wound, despite actually taking 9 hits. So that was the tentacle's turn. So now I need to move the Hungry Dead, who are moseying along at a very, very slow pace with their movement of 2. And it is time to see about spawning at other locations. So first, the original down left here does not. Upper left, it's in the box, would be good. A 5 does not. Upper right, it does. So there is no token there, so it gets its token. Something's coming. All right, and the lower right, it does. So it already has a token as well. So Joseph, we get to see what comes on. And it is Paradise worth of Hellbats. And that is 3 Hellbats, which is not going to be long for Joseph. They're well within their range. All right, what are their 2 elite abilities? A 6 and a 5. The 5 is armored scales. They're +2 health, which actually isn't too bad. And the 6 is razor wings. Their combat hits now do 3 damage instead of 1 damage. Blah. Okay. And of course, it is time to hold back the darkness. A 6 and a 4 is good, so that's lucky, I guess. So the spiders go. There are 2 spiders. So 4 dice. Hitting on 4s. 1 hit. That's lucky. My defense fails. You know what? Because that does give me a -1. I'm going to go ahead and use a grit. Saves it. Excellent. So no -1 to hit this round. Good. I think I'm going to need that because I've got these Hellbats coming in. Now I'm going to need to start killing some bats, although the tentacles would be good. All right. Anyway, the initiative 6 Hellbats get to go, and they get to move 12, and I think I'm within 12. Let's see. And you can see that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just within range. Just within range. Ugh. That was unfortunate. All right. So they are 3 dice each. So that's 6 hits, or 6 attacks, I should say, that I am taking. Okay, so, and they hit on 3s. So 4 hits. Okay, so defense doesn't make any. I will spend a grit to reroll all of those. Still doesn't make any. So 4 times 3 is 12. That's 12 wounds that he takes. And then horror saves. He makes 2, so he takes 2 sanity. Alright, so Joseph is currently at 14 wounds out of his 19 wounds. Getting close to needing a revive. So in essence, I need to heal myself with bandages and killing stuff. It is Joseph's turn. So he does get his 7 dice. No grit, no way to get more grit. Other than killing everything and then resting for a few turns. It's unlikely. And unfortunately still no 4s. Alright, so he does get 3 rerolls. Well, not being able to hit on 4s helped a little. That is 4 6s though, which gives him 4 more dice. Okay. So I think, especially since I need to heal a bit, I need to kill some Hellbats. And then go after the last remaining tentacle. The Hellbats are a 2 defense and 3 wounds, which is a 5. So I need a 4 or better to kill a Hellbat. So we'll start with the Hellbat adjacent to me. Kills it. Good. I can heal a wound. Okay. The next Hellbat's adjacent to me. Kills it. Heals a wound. Alright, and can't hit the other Hellbat because he's not adjacent to me, so now I'm going to go after the tentacle. I'll go ahead and roll 2 dice, since I can't kill one on a single die. Does nothing. Again. Alright, well that will do 3 wounds. Okay, 1 die. Does nothing. With these tentacles just really are my bane. Does nothing. There we go. That will kill the last tentacle. Let me heal a wound. And I have one left. Unfortunately, I have one left. I guess I should have rolled them all against the tentacle. You know what? We'll say I did. Because if I do kill a spider, it lets them all come after me. So it bounced on the tentacle. So I want to kill all the spiders in one turn as much as I can. Because otherwise, if I create an opening, because I have to shoot ones adjacent to me, then the other 4 that are back here would be able to come surround me. As it is, I'm only getting attacked by 2 of them, which is as good as can be. So Joseph has 10 wounds, 2 sanity, 1 revive token left, no grit. It is now, the tentacle is gone, so it is now the hungry dead, so they get to move 2 ever so closer. If I can kill these guys quick, I can take maybe a breather or 2. And then it is end of turn, so we're going to roll to spawn. So zoom in a little down here in the lower left. It does. Okay, so we finally get rid of the token and we bring out a peril dice worth of stranglers. 5 stranglers. Okay, and the Strangler's elite abilities are a 2 and a 4. The 2 is Snapping Jaws. If I start adjacent to 1 or more Stranglers, you have to pass an Agility 5+ test or take a d6 hits. And the 4 Lashing Arms gives them +2 combat. Ouch. Nasty. Doesn't look like Joseph's going to get a breather. Alright, spawning in the upper left. No. Spawning in the upper right, no. Spawning down there in the lower right, no. Okay. All right. Holding back the darkness. 8 will do it. So then Joseph, the void spiders go. So there's 4 attacks from void spiders, hitting on 4s. So 1 hit. Defense. Oops, in the box. Jeez. In the box. There we go. Fails. Alright, and that is, they are +2 damage. So that is going to be 4 points of damage for defense that I have to make. Save 2 of them. So he takes 2 points of damage. And he is -1 to hit. Alright, Mr. Hellbat comes. And he gets 3 dice. Is that right? 5 and 6. Yep. 3 dice. Hitting on 3s. 1 hit. So defense does not. And each hit is 3 damage. So 3 armor saves. Saves 1. So it's going to be 2 more wounds. So he's back up to 14 of 19. Ick. Alright. Joseph's turn though. He gets to roll for movement. Double 6s. No grit, unfortunately. So he gets to shoot. Now, hopefully, none of these guys are all that tough. So hopefully I can mow through these pretty well. Rolling to hit. Hit on 5s though. But that's still pretty good. Still pretty good. Alright. And I do get my 3 rerolls. By the time the 4s hurt me, that gives me 1 extra die. Alright, so 6 hits. We'll hit the Hellbat first. Again, he is a 2 defense and a 3 health. So I need a 4 or better to kill him. And that will kill him. Okay, so another one dead. And I can heal 1 wound. I forgot how many hits. I took 1 hit. I need to make a horror hit for the Hellbat. Right? Yes, because he hit me once. Saves. Alright, that was 6 hits. So, alright. Now on to spiders. So the spiders are simply a 3 health. Yep, so I need a 2 or better to kill. So first spider will kill 1, heal a wound. Next spider, 2 plus 1 is 3. We'll kill him. Heal another wound. Next spider is a 4. That will kill him. Heal another wound. Next spider will kill him. Heal another wound. That belt buckle. Working overtime and 1 hit left. A 2 plus 1 is 3. We'll kill him. And heal another wound. Alright, now I need to make sure I've killed. Keep track of my killed. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we're actually down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at 11 now. So theoretically, we could stop the spawning if I roll an 11 or more. And there we go. It is now the Hungry Dead's turn. And they will move there too. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Not quite in the picture, but they're getting close. they're shambling along. Ho hum, ho hum. All right. So no more Hellbats. Oh, you know, I forgot the Stranglers move on 4 as well. They move 6. They're not going to get to me. And I certainly would have killed the spiders first. Anyway, so I needed to heal. So they get to move 6 though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although I would have moved back on my turn. Well, and make an escape test. I would have. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have made sure that I was within range of the spiders. Alright, and there are the Stranglers. They would have gone just before me and they would have gone there. They wouldn't have reached me because it didn't make it, well, it will make a difference for next turn, which is why I was like, oh, I need to move myself. Because it will make a difference for next turn because they do go before me. That is the end of the turn, and so I need to roll for spawning. So lower left corner, so it gets a token. Upper left corner does not. Upper right corner does not. Lower right corner does not. Okay, so more coming in down here, potentially. So the Void Spider gets to go first, and he's going to move around behind me. Alright, 2 dice. Hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Roll for my defense. Blocks it. So good, I do not have a minus. Do not have a minus. Alright, and then initiative 4. Oh, did I didn't roll Hold Back the Darkness. We'll hold back the darkness. 7. I am just in 7. You can see right there. So does not move. And sorry. Then initiative 4 are the Stranglers. So they will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. So I get 3 on me.